If I didn't find it there, I'd go down to prison office and dig in there. I would find it.
Okay, I think we'll get started. Today, Nathan Tim is here and he's going to explain how we get logged onto the computer and we can't let anybody get our passwords or anything. So.
That's right.
Yeah. Anyway, this is Nathan. I'm going to turn it over to him.
All right. Thank you very much. It is a pleasure to be with everybody here today. And I got to say, my colleague here, y'all talking about skiing, and he's like, I can't hear this. I got work to do. I want to be there. I want to retire. I want to be emeritus. He's struggling right here. Listen to all the fun you all are having. But it is a pleasure to be with you all. As you said, my name is Nathan. I am the IT Crimson Service Desk Manager at ITS. And so I and my colleagues are the tip of the spear for all the wonderful things that are happening. I've been with WSU for far shorter than many of you, of course, but a few years working with the College of Business, and now I am with ITS. I'm going to let my colleagues here introduce themselves so you all know who I've brought with me. Aaron, would you like to start?
Hello, I am Aaron Whitman. I'm part of the WSU identity team. So all of the gnashing of teeth about replacing SMS, that's entirely my fault. Not me. But I also do a lot of work in moving WSU into cloud environments to try to reduce our on-premise requirements and make a better environment for our students more available to our campuses. I've been at WSU since I was a student in '96, and I've worked for WSU since '99.
Yeah, I'm Glenn Moulton. I actually work under Nathan. Essentially, we're like the customer front. So if you have any password issues, so on, call or join our Zoom room or come in person. But I've been at WSU since 2012 and ITS since 2021. And yeah, I'm here to help.
All right. So before we dive into any of the technical, I thought it'd be really good to provide a little bit of context as to the why, right? Why is this happening? Essentially, just so everyone know, is that it's a little bit of an arms race when it comes to our security. And as we advance with tighter and better security protocol and those sorts of things, then the criminal element figures out a better and better way to circumnavigate those things. And so there's a multitude of reasons for why we're making this change. Everything from the FBI saying, hey, this is not secure. We really shouldn't be doing this. And the federal government saying, we agree, we cannot allow other organizations to communicate with us if they're using SMS because it prevents or causes security vulnerabilities. In addition, we've seen here at WSU an increase actually in hacking attempts using SMS. And so basically intercepting those text messages saying, oh, this is my code, it's an interception, right? And that's basically how it happens in a nutshell. And then one of the other reasons is the company that we work with, Okta, is the company that provides our multi-factor authentication. They came out and said, we're no longer going to support SMS going forward. Like if you want to do it, you either got to pay extra or you got to go with some other company, right? And so it just, WSU as a whole looked at what was happening and said, we cannot continue to support SMS, unfortunately, so we've got to do something else. And so ITS has looked at it, Aaron and his team, everyone looked at it and said, what can we do? How can we do this better? And so we have a list of options. There's more than two, there's more than three. There is a list of options to replace SMS. So I'm going to share some of those options with you. And again, I will, if any of this is too much information, I will make sure that links are provided to everybody so you could go back and you can view it. We also have short little videos. So if you see one that you like, you're like, I really like that one. There's a little short video that tells you how to go over and use that specifically for WSU. Yeah.
What do you mean by SMS? Could you just clarify?
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. SMS being a text message, right? Oh. So it's a text message that goes to your phone. Great question, right? So it's the MFA and it's like, oh, well, I need to access, send me the text message code that allows me to go in. And it's super funny that we're talking about this because I mean, my bank still uses SMS, right? And there's a lot of other services that do. So now here WSU is saying it's insecure, and I'm thinking, man, is my bank still secure then? Like how are things working in all the other services I work with?
It seems like though, there's a lot of companies that don't keep their security up to date. I mean, that's why we have leaks and all
Right,
that.
absolutely. And the other aspect of this, when you think about it, is if your bank gets hacked, whose money is lost? Big tip, right? It ain't the bank's money that's got lost, right? That was your money in the bank that got hacked. And so, you know, they're gradually getting to the point, many companies, but the onus for WSU is really on us, right? It's up to us to make sure that our environment is secure. So we're making this change March 25th. And it's coming up quick, and we're all a little bit apprehensive because I think the last numbers we had, how many was it, Aaron? Was it almost 100,000 accounts that haven't changed?
Something.
Yeah, it's a lot, right? 100,000 accounts still using SMS. And so we're all like, there's going to be this run on our phone calls, and there'll be a line of 50 people out and 50 people waiting. So we are so grateful for each of you not waiting and not calling us on the 25th because it's going to be crazy. Yeah, question? Thoughts?
You said text, is this just for texting or is it email as well?
So from the perspective of Okta.
A little louder.
Sorry, I struggle to speak up sometimes. From the perspective of Okta, email is not allowed as a second factor. The challenge is that your email, such and such at WSU.edu, you need to use Okta to log in to see your email. So sending a code to your email so that you can get into your email is just not going to work. For most accounts that are authenticating through Okta currently, email is just, it's not an option for non-security reasons. It's a cart before the horse problem.
But if you don't text,
Well, so that's where I think Nathan's going to get there. We have our recommendations. There's sticks that you can buy to plug into your computer and log in. There's an application on your phone called Okta Verify. I strongly recommend using that if you have that as your option because it's the easiest to use. It sends a push notification to your phone rather than a text. Push notifications are less likely to be compromised by rogue actors, so they're a little safer. They're also less likely to be, you're less likely to be a victim of social engineering through that. We see a lot of people that are attacking through things like, we're going to send you a text message with this code. I need you to tell me what the code is so that we can make sure that you are who you say they are, or you say you're. And I see people nodding going, yeah, I get that. But people get caught out by that all the time, to the point where they've lost paychecks over it. So it's a big deal. We can't continue to do it.
Right. When you say text, what about voicemail? I get, instead of text, I typically
Yeah,
get these things.
it's the same issue with voice because of that replay attack, where you get something and then somebody convinces. I'm not saying anyone in this room would be victim to that, but we've seen it where you get people to essentially give up their SMS code or their voice code and let somebody else use it. But the thing about a push notification is that you have to physically hold the device and do something with it. So it's a little harder to attack.
And just to let everybody know, no solution is perfect, right? Anything that we discuss here, you are very smart individuals. You will immediately clue in on how a hacker could probably get around that. One of the ones that we see common quite frequently actually with students is that, they got their cell phone and it pops up saying, you're trying to log in. Did you try to log into your computer? And they were like, no, I'm away from my computer. So somebody has their password and they're trying to log into a WSU system, right? They're saying, oh yeah, send me text or send me a notification, send me a notification. And they say, no, that wasn't me. And then they do it again, right? And they say, no, that wasn't me. Then maybe they are going to their computer and start typing, are you trying to log in? And you're like, yeah, I totally am. And they say, yes. But it wasn't them actually logging in. They were just touching their computer, right? So there's something that we've seen also called MFA fatigue, right? Where you just keep getting these notifications. And all it is that the password itself has been compromised and needs to change, right? And so that's where we see a lot of education that we need to provide for students. One thing that we've changed recently, which we're very excited for, back in December, is no longer will your passwords expire. You change it one time and it's done, right? I'm seeing it like,
yeah.
all right, everyone's like, thank goodness. The password was getting really long with periods and ones, right? Or exclamations at the end. So that also helps because it is kind of a long password, right? It's 15 characters, but you don't need a symbol, you don't need a number. That's really hard nowadays for hackers to brute force something with that length. And so there's certain things that we're doing to reduce that MFA fatigue and to protect our students and our faculty and staff. So is there any other questions? Because I'd love to go over and show some visuals because we all work better with visuals, obviously. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen here. Okay. Here we go. That's that. All right, everyone can see my screen because we can see it. So this is my profile, right? And everybody has maybe seen this before one time or the other in their life. The way to find this is you go to account.wsu.edu. Oh, sorry. And again, we'll send out notes, right? So don't feel like you have to memorize everything if you miss anything. So account.wsu.edu, and it just brings you to, once you log in and authenticate, brings you to this. And then right in the middle, it says security methods. So if we select the security methods, we can see everything related to this account that has either already been set up or that we could add more, right? You don't have to set up just one, you could set up multiples. And so there's Okta Verify, there's the security keys. So what that is that is a little USB key. You can buy them for like $10 to $20 on Amazon. And again, we'll share links and you could see some links as to some different products you can purchase. But all that is it's just a push button. It's just a single button that's plugged into your laptop, and we attach it to this. It says NFC, and it's just, you plug it in, and it's like, yes, I'm authenticating. I am trying to log in, and it verifies. How does that work? Well, you would need access to that key in order to log into that account, right? So if there's a hacker that's in an international, they don't have access to your laptop, don't have access to that key, they're not logging in, right? And so to your point about, I don't get text. That's just one of the options, but there's a few others that we could go. So biometric security key USB is a great one. They're pretty cheap. Okta Verify, Google Authenticator. So Google Authenticator, that one is very universal, as in it's not specific to WSU. So I can load it on my cell phone. There's a way to load it up on the laptop as well. And you can have all your different bank accounts added to that. And it will provide a 6-digit code. And so there's a couple, that one I use for my personal accounts, just because I don't attach my personal accounts to WSU's provided solution. I keep them separate. So I have that one over there, and these are additional ones. But I do add WSU to the Google Authenticator. So let me, again, I'm gonna share these links, a lot of information. The knowledge base, I'll make sure that that's sent out to everybody. But we do include all of these. So remember how we said there's going to be little YouTube videos, and each one of these you can take a look at. And then our security methods. So this is a little bit of more about the security method changes and the social media, and then the videos at the very end. Okay, so let me show an example. If I go over and the new window. And I'm going to log in. Let's just pretend this is me, fresh, logging in, never logged in before. So these are all the different security methods that I've set up, right? And Google Authenticator, that's on your web browser, so on your laptop, or it can be mobile. And Okta Verify, this one is an app that is on your phone, right? And it just provides a little 6-digit code. The push notification, that's the one that you might have seen before where it pops up a prompt. Are you trying to log in? And you say yes or no on your phone, right? So both of those work. These, if you load one of them, both of them work actually on your device. So both of them work. Password, obviously, biometric, and the Fast Pass. This is the one that we're particularly excited for, and I'll show you why. It's loaded on your laptop, and I'm going to select it. And it sits there for a half minute, and then it just prompts me, are you trying to log in? That is the MFA. This is my laptop, and it's saying, are you trying to log in? Again, the idea that if somebody was hacking your system, they would get that prompt, right? And they were like, well, I need to see how I can log in. Well, this would pop up on your laptop, but wouldn't pop up on theirs because this is specific to my device. And your laptop is your MFA. And it's only this one, so I can't attach to any others. We need to take okay. So I would just say, yes, I'm trying to log in, or I could say, no, I'm not trying to log in. Somebody's has my password, and then it just asks me to fill in the password. And then I log in. So that was a whole lot of information. Just to let you all know, I brought these fine gentlemen here to make changes right now if anybody wanted to, or to set up appointments. So let's go talk questions. Yes.
International. If I'm in Chile, is Okta going to continue to be able to work with the international IPs? You know, when I sign on, I have in Chile, my IP will have a different IP than if I'm in the United States. I get locked out of FEMA, I get locked out of a lot of places.
Yeah.
I can't speak for specific locations. I do know that our CIO went to England over the summer and had no problems at all. We are legally required to block access from certain foreign countries. Chile is not one of them.
I would think, but you never know.
And the advantage of using like push notifications in Okta Verify and Okta Verify on your laptop is you're using a data connection. So the IP address is probably fine.
Well, the other option
Whereas like the
put a
phone
VPN.
option, yeah, the phone option is actually less likely to work in foreign countries because of cellular network issues. But you know,
Well, I found that my cell phone works as if I'm in Poland, if I'm on Wi-Fi and even in plane.
yeah, that's fine. But yeah, you shouldn't have problems using Okta Verify in say Chile. If you were in Russia, you might have troubles.
Or Afghanistan, or yeah, okay.
Yes.
I'm just curious, do they ever catch the hackers?
Rarely.
Do
Yeah.
they try?
Oh yeah, they try. The FBI has a fairly
Are they
aggressive.
domestic ones or are they all foreign?
It's a combination. The US certainly has its share of extortionists.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think even Glenn, you were able to backtrack one or two of them and message them and say, quick trying to hack our system. Like we were able to burrow down and backtrack and follow along where the route for some of these. And so
Did they stop?
yeah, they did actually. Yeah, we were able to get a few of them to stop. So yeah.
Okay, are we required to choose one of these? New
On the
security?
25th, you will have to choose something not SMS, yes.
Before the 20.
Preferably before the 25th. Yeah, on the 25th, just to let everybody knows what happens is anybody that has SMS on the 25th, their account actually gets locked. and they have to reach out to the Crimson service desk in order to get.
Do we have to do anything to get rid of SMS or just do it different way?
You don't have to do anything to get rid of it, but we would prefer that you did by going into that same security section and removing your phone.
Yeah, it'd just be like, you'd see the one that you had, and then you just select remove, and then the SMS goes away.
Just just to mention this, do not remove SMS before you have,
right,
set up a different one, because we've had people do that.
You have to. That was our favorite call. They were like, I removed SMS and now I can't actually
Email, and now I can't log in. Yeah, it's like, it's under the assumption that you set up another method first.
Yeah.
So how do I remove SMS?
So see on the screen there where it.
Oh, right here, I just go to that, yep. Okay.
Yeah, so Nathan doesn't have it because we, a while back, made it so all of us didn't have SMS.
Okay, so it'll show up there.
But essentially, yeah, one of the methods will say SMS, and then you just literally click remove. It'll make you do a 2-factor.
Okay.
I think you could still use SMS at that point,
You can.
and then it'll remove it
Okay.
off your account.
Okay. So another question I have is about passwords. So my computer remembers a lot of passwords, you know, so you don't have to remember the password. Are those safe or not safe?
Those are generally safe.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Because if you haven't already changed it, it'll prompt, the next time it'll say, change it to 15 characters.
Yeah, I haven't done that, but I'm thinking about the bank or TIA or somebody like that, you know. Lots of places.
So,
I have passwords for lots of things, and the computer, if I tell it, it'll remember those. And then I don't have to remember it.
Right.
It just, it sees it.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are pretty safe, you think?
They are recommended. I strongly recommend using a password manager. Because the alternative is that you remember your passwords in your brain.
Yeah.
And every website, everything you log in should have a different unique password. So that if your password is compromised for some service that you logged into, it's an old example, but we used to have, you know, one of the big compromises of passwords that we had in recent past was Chegg, C-H-E-G-G. It was a book reseller, big in the academic space. And their password list was compromised. And then that was published on the dark web, and it caused havoc throughout academic institutions because everybody's password was the same for, say, WSU and J. And guess what? The attackers knew that. So if your passwords are different everywhere, it makes them a lot harder to attack. And a password manager is like the key to being able to do it. I can't remember all my passwords. I have thousands of them, so I use a manager.
yeah. It's funny because the alternate is, remember back in the 90s where they said, don't write your password down, right? And now it's like, well, have a little book in your pocket next to your wallet is in some ways maybe a little safer than having it elsewhere. Do you have a question or thought?
I'll let this man go first because he's from the Antarctic, sorry.
Was able to get online in the Antarctic.
Nice. Oh, there you go.
Thanks.
Talking about, you know, certain of these for laptops and others for phones. Do you have two different ones, depending on whether you're on a laptop or on a phone?
So I recommend using OptiVerify in both places, and yeah, you can install it on both.
Okay.
And then you can use whichever one is more convenient.
It depends on like what kind of computer you have. So like he's got a MacBook, right? So you know that fingerprint sensor?
Right.
You can use that as a biometric to sign into your account. Use it as 2-factor. So, but it'll only work on that device, that fingerprint sensor. So
Most phones have a fingerprint reader too.
yeah, or Face ID. Yeah, you could technically do that as well. So
Next question.
cool.
I know some of the mailings that talk about biometric.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, there's so many options that but like we're saying, it only will work on that particular device, like the Face ID or Touch ID on the phone to access the WSU network. So kind of gets tricky when you get a bunch of those, but it is more secure because it's something embedded on that hardware. So the particular hacker would have to have access to your phone, but chances are they're not going to, right? So
Speaking back to
well, even that, I don't think it's really possible, but
Get your finger down there.
or just the finger, not the rest of you. A couple of things, of course, let's start with the, I think it was about a month ago, I changed the password. And it's huge, when I tried to set up MFA on what they call my smartphone, it's a old one, inherited from a very pleasant wife, because she got a iPhone 16. This thing would not work. They couldn't get, I guess, okay at all.
Yep.
What they put in is one of your options, which is that
Google
Google Authenticator. I get, which always seems like semi-magic and confusing to me, but that thing, and occasionally I will use it. This is a newish iPad. And when it pushes me up, they ask for the authenticator stuff. That is still fairly safe.
It's relatively safe. Yeah, it's safer than SMS. Google Authenticator, that same risk of somebody saying, I need your code, and getting somebody to give that code up, it's still a risk with Google Authenticator. But the time that code is valid is much shorter, and that reduces the risk.
I've noticed how short it is.
And so no one is going to ask you for your code as long as you don't give it to anyone. It's a fairly safe authentication mechanism.
I will have you folks look at what I've got.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Just clarify to me, I've been staying away for years from the authenticator things. But it strikes me that I shouldn't any longer. We carry around these things written down, they get longer and longer, and so just briefly, when you put things in the authenticator, how do you get in and out of that thing? How does it protect you? Do you? Since I've never used it, is it easy to use?
They're fairly easy.
And it'll tell me how to do that.
Yeah.
All right. One other question. I'm going to be in Mexico the beginning of March, and I'm going to want to take the old iPhone, brand new iPad. Will I have any problem doing stuff in that week I'm there?
generally no.
Generally, yeah, I think Lynn's got, generally no. The problems that I think you would have are going to be a problem no matter what. I don't think you'll have anything that's specific to your choice of it.
Yeah, so that works offline. So your cell phone doesn't need cell service, particularly to do that method. It's like something tied to the account. So long as you enter that within the 30-second window, it should authenticate you.
Okay. I want to look at the other stuff, but right now, your sense is I've created my last huge I guess,
Yeah.
Can you explain that to me in terms of why after I've been using your systems for a decade since I retired, and every 3 months or so I have to change it. Why no longer? Can you make that a little clearer?
Yeah, so the government agency in charge of standards recognized roughly 2016 that making people change their passwords all the time actually makes your passwords less secure. Because what you will do is set up your password, and then every time you need to change it, you add a letter on the end, or you change the letter on it. We've all done it. by instead saying, rather than have arbitrary restrictions on your passwords and make it arbitrarily complex, just make sure it's long enough and don't make people change it unless you have a reason to. So what WSU has done is move to that state. We make the password a little longer, a little bit less complicated to remember so that you can. And we only make you change them if we have a reason to believe that password with confidence. So if somebody attacks your account and gets in, we will make you change your password. But we're not going to make you change it just because it's 6 months old. That's less secure than just letting you have a good password.
And just a lesson, scripture question. WSU ever been caught into ransomware things?
We haven't had a case recently. It's always a risk.
But when I was in the college business, yes, there was a few faculty that I assisted that unfortunately got a little, they opened up a PDF as an example, and that was the payload package, and it opens up, and bad stuff happens after that. So yeah, but it's been reduced because what happens is that WSU, we're actively monitoring, right? That's the important thing. So you travel to China, or you travel to Chile, using a VPN, right? Connecting your laptop, that creates an encrypted tunnel that connects to WSU. What that means though, is it's not only that your content is secure, right? Nobody can read what is being sent, but that also does mean that WSU is able to monitor that content. And so they're able to go over and see where, we talk about how do we know if somebody's hacking an account? Well, because, 1 minute you're here in Poland, the next minute you're in UK, the next few minutes later you're in China, right? It becomes really obvious because they start bouncing signals. And Okta actually has an AI that does monitor on the back end. So you have AI and Okta, Proofpoint, that's monitoring our email. And so when those payloads with ransomware are coming in, it's scanning those. I tried to send something to one of my accounts, it was just a picture or something, I was like, oh, that's a funny picture, I need to send that. And it blocked it. It was like, oh, it just automatically blocked it. It said, and I don't know what was in the email, but something it was detected that this is not secure. So it just stopped it. And it literally said, this has been blocked. Sometimes that blocking is a little over too enthusiastic. There's a faculty that I'm working with where they said that trying to work with researchers in Harvard and Stanford, some of the Ivy Leagues, and they can't get the communication to them through the email. So that is something that we ask, is that if you are seeing that communication is not happening, that's something where you want to reach out to Crimson Service Desk, say, hey, there might be some over-enthusiastic security, right? And so we're on this teeter-totter of finding the best balance of security and convenience. If it's too inconvenient, then you can't get into your systems, right? And so it's this continual balancing act as we try to secure your systems. There's a few other questions here, though, I'd like to get to. Yeah.
I just went on to the accounts, blah, blah, blah.
Me too.
And I see all these things about setting up various authenticators, but I was looking for the spot to remove SMS, doesn't show up.
Mine says phone.
You said phone, yeah.
Is that what I want to
That's
remove?
what you.
Yep, yep,
Okay.
yep, that would be it right there. So if you hit remove on that, that would be removing. So don't remove it until you have.
I have Okta Verify already.
Okay, then you could go ahead and remove, it will prompt.
So it is there.
Yeah, good stuff. What other questions or other thoughts?
So are the only one, it sounds like the security key has a cost associated with it. The others are all basically free
Correct.
downloads, is that correct?
They're all.
Yep, they're all free apps that you can get on your phone or on your laptop. Yep, no cost, no cost. Even the Google Authenticator, right? It's just something Google provides everybody. And you don't even have to have like a Google account because it's not really associated with it. Recommended, of course, but you don't have to. So yeah. Other thoughts, questions, or complaints, right? If you all have complaints or criticisms, we have broad shoulders. We can handle it. You can criticize. Just let you all know, we've had complaints and we've sent out project teams to go talk to those individuals with complaints because Your feedback is so important in improving how we do this. The communication, you know, what, is it clear? Is there confusion? Anything that we could do to make it better, we really value that. Because then it helps us to help all them students figure it out, of course.
So I'm getting the question, would you like a fireproof login.wsu.edu?
Would you like to fireproof login at MG? Are we fireproofing?
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the fireproofing is, so you could just maybe say not now.
Yeah, that's why I was asking.
I don't know about
And
fireproofing.
then do you? I tried to set up a biometric, I think Eric said something about.
Your fingers.
Keeps wanting me to log in all the time, too. I don't fucking
Oh, yeah,
understand
it'll,
Yeah.
that. I can't, keep having to give it my password.
That might
Yep.
be what the fireproof is for, is so that you don't have to log in all the time. To reduce that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, interesting. Is it really?
What browser are you using?
DuckDuck.
Yeah, DuckDuckGo is very aggressive on privacy.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So one of the things that we do want to offer everybody is that we can break now and we can help you all out individually or if you're remote, you can email us or reach out to us and set up appointments. We're absolutely happy to help. Our time is your time, literally.
Thank you.
I just
100,000.
came up with another question.
Oh, yeah.
No, I need help.
I set up the Okta here
Uh-huh.
and remove the phone.
Uh-huh.
Then when I go home and try to get in with my laptop,
So if you set up Okta Verify on your phone, when you try to log in with your laptop, it'll prompt you to send to Okta Verify and you'll get a prompt on your phone to say yes or no.
okay, so I don't have.
Additionally, you can set up Okta Verify on your computer and it will prompt you on your computer. what
Yeah.
You saw. when you
But
opened
I'm
it.
just gonna say, when I go to set it up on my laptop, do I still have to have the SMS?
No, you can
That's
use,
gone.
you can use the Okta Verify on your.
SMS is
That's my
gone.
question.
Send it to my phone when it tries.
This is
to
a
verify.
relatively new laptop. I have my old one, which is the one I usually use.
Yeah.
And I also have a PC tower.
Mhm.
If I do it on this computer, it'll work on all of them.
So Okta Verify is device specific, so you need to install it on the device you want, except for the phone. It's a little different, but if you're installing on a Mac, you need to install it on, in your case, both of your Macs can be used, to use backpacks. The push notification needs to be on a phone you have with you, and it doesn't need to be on the same device.
But to get out to verify on my laptop, what do I download from some,
We got a link.
this is a
PC,
Windows.
yeah, Glenn can provide you with the
Yep.
link. And for the Mac,
Yeah, I can
you just
help
go to the Mac App Store.
Actually, I have the security method page up. Maybe
Yeah.
someone can-
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we could absolutely break. Yeah, so really quickly to your question about what would be on the phone. So these two right here are for your phone. These two Okta verifies, because it says enter a code. So that would be, you get that from the app and then you get a push notification from your phone. This very last one right here, it's Okta FastPass. That's the one that's installed on your laptop and that prompts. So the laptop one is specific to the laptop, right? It just works for that space. These two, since they work for your mobile, it can work for your laptop or your desktop.
It looks pretty short, but.
Yeah.
If I set it up here on my phone, then I go home. In order to get to verify on my laptop.
So
I go in,
You'll need to log in,
I'll log in.
which will prompt you on your phone,
So I can,
and then you
but
can
then
set
to
it up
download the Okta Verify,
onto
should
your.
I go to
It's not really loading.
the security methods and say,
Let's go back.
That's it, 100%. Yep.
second question.
So it looks like.
What's the
for whatever
difference
reason,
between
it
enter a
doesn't
code
like it on
and
this
get a push
particular phone.
notification?
That's okay, yeah.
Unfortunate, so.
I do use,
Yeah, this is Larry from Zoom.
Yeah, the Okta Verify looks like. we
Yes,
got.
Larry.
Yes, thank you, Nathan. Nathan, I noticed that you sent or you left two URLs in the chat. Can you explain what those are? I can send those out to
Yeah.
all the emeritus faculty, but maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. So these were, everybody, these were the two links that I sent out to Larry. So this right here is our knowledge base with the MFA options. So you can click on these YouTube videos and they will show you how to use them with a little bit more details as to the content and specificity of the option. So it's basically everything we're verbally saying, but in written form. So you can take a look at it later. And then,
Okay, I very rarely use
this one right here. This was the notification that was being sent out, plus all the digital signage, the social media. It has the exact same videos that you could watch at a later point in time. So this is just more information. Trying to give you all the options that you have.
I don't want this.
Okay, and then Nathan, you mentioned that folks, if they couldn't attend today and get some of the help, they can make appointments.
Absolutely.
To get help directly.
Mm-hmm.
And we do that through the IT Crimson desk.
Yep. You could just email us at crimsonservicedesk@wsu.edu, or you could just go to this website right here. And I will make sure to share that with in our chat as well.
You can download the Verify app.
And yeah, crimsonservicedesk.wsu.edu. And again, you can set up an appointment. My whole team is ready to willing to help out. We're actually tomorrow we're going to roll out a better system to connect with you for video and chats and everything else, so we can walk you through that whole step, all the steps, and you do not need an account to connect with us on Zoom. Right? Normally it's like, oh, log in to WSU. It's like, well, you don't have to make your accounts locked. So it doesn't make any sense. So we've got a solution there where you don't actually need to have
and then you want to copy that
account to connect with us.
And this will be available when?
It's rolling out tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Then hit copy and now go to the Google
I'm
Authenticator
just
app.
trying to look at where I click on to get to it.
You could, there's tomorrow on the lower right over here, there's gonna be a blue button. Or a red button, sorry, it'll be a crimson button. It's not here yet because they install it tomorrow. And so it's gonna be right here. You can just click on that and this web browser will change to a video connection. And again, no installation, just boom, I'm gonna talk to somebody at Crimson Service Desk. So you don't even need to brave the snow just to connect with us. We're making things so convenient for everybody, just a little FaceTime. Yes, sir.
I can't quite read that, but it says WSU Help Center to the right.
Yes.
Is that the old help desk that I've been using for 25 years?
No, the help center is actually, wildly enough, this connects you to all the different help centers. Yeah, so it's like the College of Business has a help center, Boylan has a help center, and then you click on that, that connects to just all the different help centers, and you can select the one that is specific to you. That's something that was emphasized to us, is that emeritus professors and faculty, they come from all campuses, right? All different locations. And so this is for everybody.
When I hit that or call, is that WSU Help?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so the red button
It's
is
been my
gonna-
salvation for all these years.
Right.
So know that.
Yeah, totally.
You know, the average age in here is 79, so figure it out.
Well, too much wisdom here. Too much wisdom.
You're 100.
Yeah, I'm on it.
But like I said, actually, eventually,
That will be available.
yeah, there will be a red button right here. When as soon as you go, it'll be right here, big red button, click on that, you connect right up to it. So, very excited.
Download the app.
Was there other questions or thoughts?
Sign in to your
Do you have a button for stupid questions?
There's no button for it, but it's 100% allowed. Go ahead, shoot a stupid question.
Well, I just want to know if there's a file of me on the Crimson desk that has the most stupidest questions to ask.
Well, we do actually have, every time somebody submits a request, we of course log that, so it does have everybody's questions and everybody's requests. We track all that.
So there is a file there.
There might be. We might have to hunt for the best stupid ones.
Yeah, they're generally.
But yeah, any other questions? Larry, did you have any other questions for us?
And then.
No,
so you
no,
can
I
use this
think
to
I'm good for the
save
moment.
your name, so
I really appreciate your time here.
This will just sync it. If you know that password,
Yeah.
say you get a new phone. You can use
All right.
your new device.
Well,
So I
wonderful.
recommend
Well,
that.
thank you again, everybody, for having us.
Thanks.
Absolutely. Did anybody need any of my help? Like, why would I?
Are the folks on the help desk, if I have to use them, are they as well trained as these gentlemen here?
Absolutely, absolutely, yes. We have a total of 4 full-time individuals besides myself, so